Hello everyone, CrystalFissure here. Welcome to another part of Crash Bandicoot 3. Joining me today is... Oh wait, we've got this little cutscene here.
Well, you've crashed a few parties before, but I never expected you to make it this far. If you don't turn back, I will inflict 1,000 years of suffering on you and the entire universe!
Yes, so joining me today is my good friend the AFH013.
Good day all.
Hello Al. No, just kidding. It's actually the Australian gamer who can do a pretty decent the AFH013 impression. Now, okay, let's get straight to it. This is double header, and so the first little thing about that little level there, that little section there, which is a famous bit of trivia that everyone loves to bring up, is actually. Do you know about the trivia with the double header?
Trivia.
Yeah, like the information about it, like the little, like the reason why, have you've played the Japanese version of Crash 3, right?
No, I haven't.
Alright, well, so basically in Crash 3 Japanese, this guy only has one head, and that's because, well, these guys only have one head. That's because in Japan, they thought it would be a bit of a risk if they were to kind of have mutated heads, you know, in reference to, you know, not Fukushima, what's it called, you know, Hiroshima, you know, on all those, you know, chemical explosions, because, you know, in Japan, there have been, you know, sightings of chemical deformities, or, you know, like human deformities caused by, you know, the nuclear attack. So
yeah, I heard about that.
yeah, so they were a bit. They didn't want to have it. You know, I think one of the Sony representatives was like, nah, we can't actually have that because, you know, Japanese people might be offended by, you know, kind of like making a joke about like an enemy with two heads. You know.
But they should realise they're not really trying to make a joke about it.
Oh, they're not exactly. No, I think it's just an incredibly. You know, like, I guess it's just a real big precaution just to guarantee that they're not offending anyone, especially because Crash Bandicoot was a huge phenomenon in Japan. I mean, Crash is huge in Japan. Crash is still huge in Japan. That's the thing.
Which is kind of a shock, though. It doesn't really seem like a Japanese type of thing.
Well, Japanese games, you know, they have different tastes. They've got, you know, they love their JRPGs, they love their racing games, they love all their kind of Japanese stuff, but they also, there's instances where Japanese people, or a lot of people would, love, you know, that kind of, you know, what's it called, American-influenced game, and this is kind of like an American-influenced game about an Australian animal. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, it's a thing that's very accessible and very interesting, especially to foreign people. They look at this and go, "What the fuck is this thing?" Do you know what I mean? And it's like an Australian animal thing, you know. So it's kind of, it definitely has mainstream appeal. Crash Bandicoot has always had a lot of mainstream appeal.
He doesn't really look like a Bandicoot. He looks some sort of weird orange creep dog or whatever he is.
He doesn't like it. I mean, Bandicoots look nothing like this. I mean, the thing is, like, the Bandicoot is actually, you know, on four-legged animal. You know, it's not meant to be like this. But what the Evolvo Ray did was it transformed a regular Bandicoot into an anthropomorphic Bandicoot. You know, so yeah, it's cool. I mean, Crash Bandicoot, you know, it's obvious why it's popular. Oh shit! Wait. No, okay, yes. What you got to do is you got to do this here. I mean, you know, Crash Bandicoot, yeah, it's still popular to this day. It's like Ape Escape. Like, Ape Escape in Japan is still very popular. I don't know why they don't do another game. And if they were to release another Crash game in Japan, you know, I reckon there's a huge chance that people would be very excited for it. Japanese people would still be very excited.
Yeah.
You know, and they should. I'd love to see another Crash game, but who knows if the market is ready for one? You know, on the verge of, you know, there being a new console, the PS4 or the Xbox One. Is now the right time to release a new Crash game? Maybe not. Maybe in a year or so. You know.
Yeah. 2016 is actually my guess for next Crash game.
Yeah, 2016. Yeah, I could see it either 2016, 2015, or at the least maybe an announcement in 2014. You never know. I would not be surprised if at the end of next year we saw an announcement for a Crash PS4 game, or Wii U, or whatever you want to release it on.
And I wouldn't mind a Crash Bandicoot HD collection.
Yeah, I would like to see that, but I mean, I don't think that there's a huge chance it would happen, just because going from PS1 to PS4 graphics, there's no way they're going to be able to, like, just remaster it. They're going to have to make the entire game from scratch. You know, there's just no way you can just get this texturing here and go, okay, let's put it in the PS4 engine. It's way too complicated.
Or they could just leave the graphics as it is, but just turn it into 1080p.
Yeah, but see, that doesn't make any sense, because you can't, because the texturing, the best you could literally get it is what I'm playing it on almost now. The best you could get it is EPSXE with the plugins. There's absolutely no way that you would be able to that you would actually, oh shit, I've definitely got them all. Wait, there's no way that you can upscale it any more than it is. It would have to be redone. The textures would have to be remade, because if you zoom into these textures, they're old. They're about 32 by 32 pixels, maybe even 16 by 16. They'd have to literally change the entire game. They'd have to retexture all of it. They'd have to change the code, because PS1 has a completely different game creation architecture than the PS2 and the PS3 and the PS4. It's very complicated. You can't see, with PS2 to PS3, it's just a matter of having to upscale and redo the textures, you know, and fix it. But with PS1, it's a completely different system. It's a completely different thing. So if they redid it, they'd have to redo it from scratch, just like they did with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. They did that when they did the HD remaster of that, or remake, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's, you know, I'd love to see it. But yeah, that was Double Header, and that was the third and final level in the
Third warp room.
no, yeah, the fifth level in the warp room, and the third and final level of, like, you know, a classic, what's it called, you know, medieval times. So yes, that concludes. Thank you for watching. Make sure you give a subscribe to the Australian Gamer. You gotta replace, like, the E's with 3's, but yeah, I'll show in the description. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for commentating, Cameron, and I'll see you in the next part. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.